To talk about the Brockville General Volunteer Association, the volunteer coordinator, Elizabeth Rogers, has joined me, and we're going to find out a little bit more as to, if you want to volunteer, what can you be expected to do if you're at the hospital. So welcome to the program.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
So how many volunteers would you have at the hospital?
Okay, so we have about 155 volunteers who are active either in the hospital or in the community at the moment.
So if somebody wants to be a volunteer, but they're just not sure, how would they apply? Like, what should they do?
They can come and talk to me first. I'd love to have a conversation with them, and together we talk about what that person likes doing, what they've done in the past. You know, I even like to know what they don't want to do, because that helps.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's a good.
So I like to have a really good conversation with people, and together we work out what are we going to do and how can we volunteer in the hospital.
That's neat.
Okay.
That's really, really good. So, do you need any qualifications? Do you need to have something specific? Like, I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to the hospital, I should know a little bit about Band-Aids or whatever.
No, I'm not looking for people to have qualifications or degrees. You know, volunteering is for everyone. So I want to know who you are as a person and what you want to do. You know, so if you're motivated to support your community or to come and help in the hospital, that's what's really important to me.
Okay, so I fill out a form. You meet with me.
Yes.
I tell you that I like to read, but I'm not very good at helping someone, you know, like feeding someone, because I wouldn't be good at that.
No, okay.
So where would you put me?
Okay, so we're going to talk about the various roles in the hospital. So we have welcome ambassadors.
Yes.
We have volunteers in Eleanor's Cafe. We have volunteers in our gift shop, in day surgery, cardiac rehab. We have some new roles coming up on the new wards, the A2 and A3 wards in the new tower. We're looking for volunteers to work with our rehabilitation assistants as well. So as you can see, there's quite a lot there that maybe you might think, I want to be part of that.
Yes.
So we'd have a conversation about, you know, maybe some of those roles and what would be, you know, does any of that take your interest? You know, and we'd go from there.
Okay, so like palliative care, like reading? I could read to somebody? Is that welcomed?
Definitely. With our palliative care volunteers, though, we do a 30-hour course with all our palliative care volunteers.
Yes.
Because of the nature of the subject.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that you've got all the tools and skills and information so that you feel comfortable to either work with patients, work with families, work with people in the hospital or in the community. You know, we're not just going to send you straight out there.
No.
So all our palliative care volunteers do a 30-hour course beforehand, and then at that point they say, you know what, I'd like to go and sit with patients, or I'd like to work with patients in the community, and we go from there.
Awesome.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's good.
And yeah, it's nice. I like the idea that you're meeting with the people, you're talking to them, you're finding out what they like, and then being able to suggest to them where they could go.
Yeah. And really, when I first meet people, I don't expect them to know what they want to do straight off. And in fact, even after that first meeting, I don't expect anyone to know what they want to do. If they do, great, but I'm not expecting you to do that. Not till after they've gone through the application process and completed that. Really, at the end of that, that's when I ask the question, you know, what do you want to do? And that's where we find you a home within the hospital.
Now, would the volunteer be shadowed?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
So our volunteers are trained by their peers, by fellow volunteers, because they know the role the best.
Yes.
They have the most information, you know, so they train with their fellow volunteers till they feel completely comfortable to go out by themselves or to go out with another team member. So that might be, you know, some volunteers after a single shift, they're like, you know what, I'm okay, I've got this. Or they might decide to do 3 or 4 shifts and then in the end be like, yeah, I like this. And then I always say as well, you might do a role and after a couple of months, you might think, you know what, this isn't for me. That's okay. Come and have a chat with me and we'll look at doing something else. You know, you're not stuck to a role.
Oh, no. There's multiple.
Yes.
And, you know, I can understand that. Like reading to people, maybe, you know, I've read to people enough. I'd like to do whatever.
Yeah,
Go into Eleanor's Cafe.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
I'd like
we
to
do.
serve people.
Yeah, we do. We have volunteers change, you know, they may have spent time in the gift shop or the cafe, and then they go and do shifts in day surgery or go and do something completely different.
How many hours would you expect from someone?
People can give as little or as much as they want. So if they can say, I can give you 3 hours a month,
Yes.
we'll work with that.
Okay.
But if they can say, you know what, I'd like to do 3 hours, 6 hours a week, great, we'll work with that as well. So, you know, we work with the person to make sure it works for them with their schedule.
Wow, that's really neat. Now, the association in the past has raised funds, and so you do have some fundraisers periodically throughout the year, do you not?
Yes, we do.
And then donate towards whatever the hospital is currently, you know, trying to purchase.
Yes.
And I think it's the MRI, is it not?
Yes,
that they
that's
are
where the funds are being focused to at the moment.
So, I mean, it's not, the volunteers aren't just in the hospital, they're also fundraising too.
Yes.
And having fun at it.
Yes, I know. The Christmas, so the last fundraiser they did was the Christmas basket raffle.
Yes.
So we had some amazing local businesses donate baskets to the event, and we had about 16 baskets donated this year.
Nice?
It was brilliant, and they just looked amazing. People were so kind with their donations. It looked amazing.
So if someone is sitting at home and thinking, you know, I'm not going to stay home anymore. I'm going to go and volunteer at the hospital. I'm going to do something. Can they go on the website? Is there enough information on the website that they can clue into what?
Yeah. So it's a good place to start, the website. If you go to the hospital website, and there's a section there called Get Involved.
Yes.
And you'll actually see a section there about volunteering. The application form is on the website.
Good.
So you can fill that in. That comes to me, and then I will pick up the phone or email you and say, hey, let's have a conversation. Or you can email me or call me directly, and we can arrange a time to meet.
That's great. So the email address for the hospital is
Brockville-General-Hospital.ca.
Okay, I thought it was something like that. And, you know, all the information is there until they come to you, and then you have the conversation.
Yes.
I love it. I think it's just awesome. If I had the time, I'd probably come and help you, but unfortunately I don't. Is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know about the Volunteer Association at the hospital?
So it's amazing. Volunteering at the hospital is an amazing way to give back to your community. If you're wondering, what can I do? You know, like you said, I'm sat at home, I'm not doing anything. What can I do? This is a way that you can give back to your community. It's a brilliant way to make friends, take part in activities together, you know, support others in the hospital, you know, have conversations, have laughs. We laugh constantly as volunteers.
Good.
You know, the giggles are high for us. And just feel that part of something, that you're there doing something.
That's often. That very well said indeed. So thank you for coming in, sitting down with me and talking about the volunteer roles at the Brockville General Hospital.
Okay,
it's awesome.
Thanks.